All right, guys, welcome back to the Pine Cellar Podcast. We're your hosts, Sam Marie.
And Gia Angelina.
And this is episode 18.5.
Yeah.
Our second re-record.
Mm-hmm.
Our second audio failure.
Oh. It's called, what do we call it? Tricks and Traditions?
Tricks and Traditions.
What happened was, ow, what's happening? Ow.
What the? Oh, it's stuck in the...
What had happened was me and Sammy recorded like 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I thought it was a good episode.
Yeah, we had a really good time. And Sammy sat down to edit and texted me. He was like, hey, you can't even hear us. Like, not at all, actually.
And we did everything right. But we've just found out, being here today, that there's something wrong with the way we normally do it. And we have to have Audacity on. So, there's that. In the meantime, since that episode was recorded, I made our very dear co-host a boo basket. And she's going to open it right this second.
I'll cry right now.
This second.
Oh my gosh, I'll cry right now. I just went to war, and it's like the silliest little thing to go over war over, and Sammy just made me a boo basket.
I feel like it wasn't a silly thing, though.
Should I tell them what just even happened?
Yeah, because I feel like you were brave for even going by yourself. Like, if I was going to an appointment like that, and I would have been like, Brian, you have to carve out 2 hours of your day to come with me, please.
What happened was, for the past like 2 years, I've had these like cysts on my scalp, and it's kind of embarrassing, which is like, I feel just like a pinch of embarrassment every single time I talk about it, because it's like saying, I don't know if I feel like there's some type of stigma behind like, there's something like, there's like a cyst on your scalp, is that like dirty, or like what's wrong with you? Like, I don't know.
Well, those are just uneducated people.
Anyways, 2 years ago, I hit my head off of something. I hit my head a lot, and I wonder, like, if that's why I have this, like, 4 cysts on my head that just were growing. Anyways, 2 years ago, I was in my dorm room, and I sat up from my bed, or I leaned back, and I hit my head off the corner of this, like, little box that was on the wall, and I, like, felt my head, 'cause ouch, and I felt, like, this little bump. And I'm like, well, this isn't exactly where I just hit my head. Like, that's how I found the first one, right? Fast forward 2 years later, I now have 4, and they were growing. There was nothing crazy about them. Anyways, I made a dermatologist appointment to get them removed. And I was very, like, cool, calm, and collected, because I went and got a consultation, and it was just literally took 10 minutes. The lady who looked at them was real nice about it. I was really nervous because my primary care doctor told me that I would have to, like, shave my head almost, like, where these cysts were. So I was like, bro, I'm not getting them taken out if I have to shave, like, quarter size things, like, little spots on my head. And then she's like, well, your hair may never grow back, and blah, blah, blah. But this lady, like, reassured me. She's like, nobody's gonna shave your head. Literally, like, 2 or 3 strands of hair will be pulled out, and you will never even be able to tell. Your hair will grow back, and the only downside is, like, sometimes they're called pilar cysts. Sometimes they come back, which is normal. It's nothing to worry about. They're what's the word for non-cancerous?
Benign.
They're benign, yeah. So
yeah, we learned about those. The pilar cysts.
Yeah. They might be pilar, either or.
I don't know if it really matters. I think no matter what doctor you go to, they might say it a bit differently. But, yeah, I remember learning about those. And I don't really think they have any cause that I can remember.
Really? So essentially, correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, but this is what the lady told me in my consultation.
Well, she's the specialist.
They're just a buildup of keratin, essentially.
Okay, yeah.
So it's just like a buildup of something. It's nothing bad. It's just like my scalp was producing, or whatever, I was producing too much of something. So I went in yesterday to go get them removed. And I walk in, and I'm still feeling real cool, calm, collected, because I have 2 really close family members who are in the healthcare field, and every single one of my doctor's appointments, every single healthcare, whatever situation I've been in, has went so peacefully. Like, and I'm not even worried. I go into this appointment, and sit down, and there are these 2 nurses in there, and there's no way they're older than 25 years old. Like, these 2 girls look like they're my age. I'm 20, and I go in, they, like, check my birth date. They're asking me if I have any metal in my body, which, do my dermals count as metal in my body?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's better to like overstate things than understate.
Yeah,
so I would just let them know, no matter what.
They said, "Do you have any metal implants?"
Like if you're getting imaging and stuff, you definitely want people to know that you have those.
They're like, what are these 2 things in your back?
Yeah.
But yeah, I told them, I said, I have dermals in the bottom of my back. Do those count? They're like, I'm not sure. Okay, that should have been red flag number 1.
Yeah.
So I sit down in this chair, and there's not really a whole lot going on. Like 5 minutes later, this doctor comes in. He says hello, does not introduce himself. He doesn't tell me his name or his title. He says, hello, how are you? Good. All right, conversation was ended. That was it. He continues,
which is a problem.
Yeah, he continues to have a conversation with these nurses about literally nothing, just like the decorations in the room, about something changed, whatever. The next thing I know, he's talking about, okay, you're gonna feel a little pinch. What do you mean I'm gonna feel like before that I showed him where the 4 cysts were, which is obviously important because he came in, he thought there was like 3 or something like that.
Oh my god.
So I showed him where they were. He's like, you're gonna feel a little pinch. Me just being, you know what I mean, I don't know, 20 years old with experience, I'm assuming it's the numbing, right? Because what else would there be a pinch in the exact spot for?
That's what I would assume too,
right?
But you shouldn't have to assume.
Right. So he continues to turn on this like machine that is making like this whirling noise that almost sounds like a razor, right? And I'm sitting there like I'm starting to breathe a little bit heavy, and then they're just like manhandling my head this entire time, because again, there's these 3 nurses, or not 3, there's 2 nurses and the doctor, so there's 3 people plus me in this room, and it's a very tiny room. They're all crowded around me, and they're all just like, it's a lot of pressure on my head. And what was happening was he would turn on this machine, and then it felt like he was like scraping something. You know how like you know how when you like pick at a pimple or something, you can hear like picking at it. It's like just like that. That's what it sounded like on the top of my scalp. I could hear everything that they're doing, but he was explaining nothing. And just to wrap it up, like I ended up asking him like, hey, what are you doing right now? Because I'm feeling what you're doing, but you're not explaining anything. He's like, oh, well, essentially I'm making a cut into your scalp, and then I'm just squeezing this out. And then after he did that, I could feel something threading through the top of my scalp, and then I hear him say, cut. I got stitches, and nobody told me I was getting stitches until I was actively getting them. I like had no idea I was gonna leave with stitches. I thought maybe they were just gonna glue it or put something over it, whatever. It was just very traumatizing because they were carving into my scalp, squeezing something out. It got stitches, no idea, and nobody was telling me. And this happened 4 times. It was dead silent in the room. And for one of them, I had to lay on my stomach and look at the ground because it was on the back of my head. So I really had no idea what was going on. And it was just like real terrifying. And I called my mom sobbing and called Sammy sobbing. And it was just...
Well, yeah. I mean, because that's a major problem. Like, from the start, there were issues. Like, when you go into the room as a provider, no matter what you do, the first thing you do is introduce yourself. Like, hey, my name's so-and-so. I, like, for example, I walk in the room, like, hey, I'm Sammy. I'm a psychiatry PA here, physician assistant. Like, you give an introduction. Your title needs to be in there, and then, like, what they're going to call you needs to be in there. I don't really say my last name because I'm not, like, a doctor. Like, I don't, like, so I'm not, like, my name's Samantha LaBelle, unless they ask for my full name for some reason. But, and then when you're doing a procedure, like when I'm doing the Botox, you kind of get an idea of, like, what people want to, like, hey, how are you with needles? What's your experience with needles been? Do you, every time I go in, do you want like a 3, 2, 1, do, or do you want it just for specific areas? Like, what do you want me to do? And then in between those, you ask, are you doing okay? Do you need a break? How are we feeling? You need to know those things because you don't want somebody passed out on your table.
It was so funny because Sammy just like triggered some other things that happened in there. The third one he was taking out, I flinched because he scraped too hard or something. Like I felt something hurt, you know what I mean? Like I shouldn't be feeling whatever you're doing right now.
Yeah.
So I flinched and they looked at me, they're like, are you okay? I like stuttered. I was like, yeah. And they just kept going. So.
And plus, like, if you're not letting somebody know what you're doing and it's the back of your head, like, you can't see them. Like, even, like, a way less serious example, but just, like, to emphasize the importance of explaining what you're doing. Like, if somebody's doing my eyeshadow and my eyes are closed, I can't see, and all of a sudden you, like, shove the brush on my eye, I will flinch every time. But it's just because I didn't see it coming. So, like, you're at the back of somebody's head. Like, you have to be like, okay, again, you need to verify with the people, like, how much they want to know, right? Because some people are like, literally, shut up, don't tell me anything, just get it done. Mm-hmm. Other people are like, I need you to walk me through step by step. Mm-hmm. Other people, like, for situations like that too, and I was telling Gia, like, when I did my ER rotation and I would do, like, stitches, or I'd do the exact same procedure, you give people the option to, like, if you have headphones, throw them in, watch a YouTube video, or, I mean, it's not going to distract me, like, just play music out loud. I'd probably rather it be that than just be quiet. Yeah. So, like, you should be giving those options too. Like, you know, if you wanted to put a little, or play Minecraft on your phone while you were getting, like, you should have been given that option. But obviously, like, as a patient, when you walk into the room, like, you don't want to just do that stuff without, like, you don't think to do those things without having been told that that's, like, a completely normal, comfortable option. It
seems so, like, silly, but when I'm in there, like, I'm scared to ask questions because these people are, like, I'm surrounded by people I don't know in a position of power who are, like, about to carve into my scalp. I don't want to upset them. I don't want to, like, offend them, so I'm not going to sit there and be like, hey, can you please tell me everything that you're doing back there, because I'm very uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, and as a provider who values education and comfort for people, I don't think any of it sounds silly, and I think it sounds absolutely so disappointing that that's how a doctor behaved. That's a problem.
The cherry on top, which was, like, made me feel not even real, like, I have to be literally in a fever dream right now, was when I was laying face down on this, like, little chair. They had just finished, like, the doctor literally said, okay, all done, and then walked out. The nurses were like, Gabby, are you okay?
Who the F is Gabby?
I didn't say anything, right? Because I'm thinking you're talking to the other nurse. There's two, right? So she like grabbed my shoulder. She's like, Gabby, are you okay? And I sat up, and I had, like, a tear coming down my face. I said, my name is Gia. And they were like, oh, I don't know why I thought that. Haha. Nothing funny. It's not funny.
No, nothing about any of it's funny. But, that's crazy.
That's what happened to me within the last, like, 2 days. And now I've got these fucking stitches in my head, and it's uncomfortable to even look down or up. And apparently I can't work out for 2 weeks other than walking. I can't lift more than 10 pounds. And the other thing was they didn't go over any aftercare.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which was crazy because all they said was, like, okay, just don't get your head wet for 24 hours and make sure you're putting Vaseline on it. Are you serious? Like, can I wash my hair with the shampoo and conditioner? How often am I supposed to be putting Vaseline on it? What, you know what I mean? How am I supposed to know I wasn't supposed to bend over and tie my shoes? Like,
yeah, because how would you know? They should be explaining all of that. That's such a problem. And it sounded too, like, from originally hearing it, that maybe, like, the nurses were, like, kind of scared of the doctor or something, but, like, F your doctor. Your patient comes first. So, like,
the nurse, after the doctor walked out the room, the main nurse, like, was assisting, because one of them was just watching. When the doctor walked out, she was like, hey, I'm sorry I didn't get to tell you what was happening. He just came in and got started. Yeah. So you knew you were supposed to tell me what was happening.
Yeah, and, like, either she was running late and she was just like, whatever, or, like, something was messed up in how they normally would have proceeded with things. But even if that's the case, like, you made a mistake and you're running late, then explain it while he's in there and go over it while he's doing it. But it needs to be, it's not going to lengthen the time of the procedure. You just talk while you're doing it.
I'm excited Sammy got me a boo basket.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you should open up your boo basket. Yeah, we should do a boo basket haul.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier with our setup to open something up. It's kind of, like, big, too.
This is so cute. So to start off, It's in like a little, almost like a small size like laundry basket.
Yeah.
It's white and it's very soft.
You could keep like blankets in it.
Shut up! There is a blanket in here. This is a Squishmallow?
Yes, but it's a double-sided one.
It's a Flipmallow.
Yeah.
It's a pumpkin with like a little straw and like some whipped cream on top, but the straw is like his little leaf.
Yeah.
Let's see what the other side is.
Squishmallows are so soft.
Oh, what the heck? My mom calls them Squishimals, so I catch myself calling them Squishimals.
Yeah, I was trying to do it myself. It is kind of hard.
Oh my gosh, look at it.
Is it a cauldron?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a cauldron.
Look how cute.
Love that.
Oh my gosh.
You could just be a little decoration on your bed for the season.
Oh my gosh.
You could change a side depending on your mood. They're both so cute, though.
You want to hold him?
Yeah. Look at this
He's
guy.
so soft. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Guys, I'm Alani rich.
There's a lot of Alani.
I'm Alani's rich. 2 cherries and a witch's brew.
And when I went to do this, and the Alanis are from Target, but I got Alanis for myself, so I checked out with like 8 Alanis.
What the heck?
Oh, that was your mom's contribution.
I just found 2 20s sitting there. Guys,
yeah,
if this is what happens when I'm traumatized, I'm just gonna start putting myself in traumatizing situations. What is this?
I don't know. I thought it was funny
A
though.
desktop basketball slam dunk. This is awesome.
They had ping pong too and soccer.
Comes with a mini rubber basketball, a mini illustrated rule book, an easy to assemble basketball hoop with backboard and suction cup, about 5 inches high.
I am curious, like how it like is when it's all set up.
We can set it up. Okay, a poppy, strawberry lemon poppy.
So when we were gonna record yesterday, that poppy, I was putting it in the fridge for that to be your fun drink yesterday, but then I just...
Look at how... Shut up. It's a Hello Kitty mug with a pumpkin. With some oatmeal in it. With protein oatmeal in it.
Yeah, I love that brand, and I would have got more, but that was the last one.
Burt's Bees chapstick. Pink Blossom. And Sweet Violet. This is why I don't accept anything less than, like, love. You know what I mean? Like, Sammy real life got me a whole blue basket with some Gushers!
And they have a sour flavor in them. I don't know if you've ever had sour Gushers, but sour Gushers are probably my favorite
They're
snack.
so good.
So good. I did eat one of them last night.
That's okay. Oh my gosh.
That was the only Halloween themed one they had.
It's one of them little mystery bags that Sammy and I have been
Nightmare
obsessed with.
Before Christmas theme, but it's like
Glow in the dark.
glow in the dark. Okay, that's why they look like that. More
Which is
Alani.
Brew Alani. Some more Gushers.
Your mom over in the fridge, she was like, they have Halloween themed Alanis?
Wow, this smells good. It's a candle. It's hand poured. I'm trying to see, like, richly scented candle.
I think it's just called R.I.P. though. Yeah, it's pretty good. Honestly, it smells a bit more Christmassy to me, but the outside is decorated like Halloween.
Yeah, you could probably pass it off for either.
Yeah.
Either or.
Oh, that's cool.
What is this?
It's like a candle, and the directions suggest that when you burn it, there's something inside of it.
It says, watch your back. Our collection is filled with things that go bump in the night. Whatever direction Halloween takes you, Martha sets the mood you're looking for.
Doesn't that make it sound like there should be something in there?
Yeah.
But it doesn't smell like anything. It's literally just wax.
It's Frankenstein. For the listeners, it's Frankenstein in like this glass cup.
Yeah.
It's
It's
awesome.
a Martha Stewart collection.
Oh my gosh. And this nice little blankie.
Yeah, it's like a knit blanket. It's very fall-esque, beige, orange, green.
Thank you, Sammy.
I love those like knit. You're welcome. I love those like knit blankets though. We have 2 of them that we keep on our couches, like when we're in our own house, and they're my favorite. Target has really good ones too. That's from TJ Maxx though. The cans clinking. There's so many cans. Listen, Alani is very important to our existence.
Very important actually. Like, if you know how like there's like a Willy Wonka chocolate
Here's this
factory.
guy.
If there was an Alani factory,
Oh
I
my
feel
god,
like we would go.
Oh my god, the way I would be hunting for that golden ticket. Like, I wouldn't rest until I found it. I think that's the door shutting. Somebody let it slam. Sometimes this building's a little creepy that the radio station's in, because the noises are just like very scary movie-esque.
Tell them what's upstairs too.
Oh yeah, upstairs is wild. Yeah, upstairs is just this big open room with a bunch of like random antiques, pictures, like dolls, like set up stuff.
There's like a old bank door with just a bunch of kid toys behind it.
Yeah, and it's like a vaulted door. Is that the right? It's like a vault. Like it's got a thing you're like cranking.
Okay.
But it's very creepy upstairs. But people work up there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love like I love like gifts for sure, but I love like creating gifts. Like making the bridesmaids bag was so fun.
I debated bringing my bridesmaids bag today. I've been liking my Okay, what's your guess? Actually, let's see. What are our options? The mayor?
I feel it might be the mayor.
Jack's pretty cool too. Lock, shock, or
I
barrel.
honestly, I don't think I'd be upset with any of them.
I think I agree actually, because I think the least one I would want is Sally, just because it doesn't really look like Sally for real. Top left.
Oh yeah, maybe not Sally, but I think all the other ones. Brian loves the Oogie Boogie song.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Shut up! I got 0.
Nice.
Aww,
that's a good one. Shut up. It's so cute. I like this one.
I do too.
That one's a good one.
Thanks, Sammy.
I was trying to feel around in them yesterday, like, who is this?
Have you done anything crazy in the last 2 days?
No, I've literally not done much.
Should we start into our tricks and traditions?
I suppose we could get back into
Why
it.
people are here for real?
Oh man. Alrighty. It feels so weird re-recording something because it's like we already spoke about it.
Yeah.
Like,
did you know? Actually, yeah, I did.
I literally know because I found out the other day.
Yeah.
But hey, here we are. We're dedicated.
Go ahead and start with the history of Halloween.
Okay. Okay. So Halloween, its origin place is believed to be Ireland because it originated with the Celts who lived about 2,000 years ago in what is known as the Ireland, portions of UK, and northern France. They recognize November 1st as their new year because that is when it kind of, like, the weather changed, the daytime hours changed, it started to get dark, so that was when the new year happened for them. They, during this time from October 31st into the change of November 1st, they had a festival, a pagan religious festival that was called, I've seen it pronounced a couple ways, Samhain or Samhain, which is actually spelled Samhain. But it was a pagan religious festival celebrated from the 31st to November 1st to essentially usher in the dark half of the year. This time was heavily associated with death. So the night before the new year, the boundary between the living world and the dead was supposedly what they believed to be opened. The lines were blurred between the dead world and the living world, and they believed ghosts could return. So it was celebrated with very large bonfires, burning of crops and animals as sacrifices, and they dressed in what were known as the original Halloween costumes, which were made of animal heads and skins. But then with time, the Roman Empire came in, conquered stuff. And they had 2 of their own celebrations. The first was called Feralia, which was to commemorate the passing of the dead. And then the second was called Pomona, which was honoring this goddess of fruit and trees. Her name was Pomona. And her symbol was the apple. But basically, the Roman Empire came in, collaborated essentially, and they kind of, again, Halloween traditions began to, get more popular. And evolved into what they are now. But the reason that bobbing for apples is a tradition is because of this celebration of Pomona, because, again, she was the goddess of fruits and trees, and she was symbolized as the apple. So that's why we bob for apples now, which is actually something I've never bobbed for apples before.
It's actually pretty. We did it at West Lib.
Oh, really?
Yeah, last Oktoberfest. It was so popular because, well, not because, but like, I found it just a little bit like icky.
Yeah, kind of gross.
Because everybody's sticking their head in the same bucket of cold water.
Like with their mouth is open too.
Yeah.
I'd do it if I was the first person to go in, but
Yeah.
I'm not going in after everybody else has been in there. But by the 9th century, there's a lot of Christianity influence, and they had also...
Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my gosh. Anyways.
But Christians celebrated All Souls Day, and they had All Saints Day celebrations. The like origin word for saints from whatever, it was called All Hallows. And so that's kind of how it developed into All Hallows Eve, and then eventually became Halloween. And then by the second half of the 19th century, there were new immigrants, mainly from Ireland, coming over to America. And so there was an even, bigger collaboration is probably not the right word, but collaboration of different cultures, which kind of made Halloween what it is today. But basically, just a bunch of different cultures essentially had some sort of celebration for passing of the dead, this barrier between living and the dead, and they all came together, and as cultures came together,
Combined, basically.
Yeah, into like a little mixing pot, we got where we are today with Halloween.
I read something that the night before All Saints Day or All Hallows, they were just acting a fool because they were like, that day you're supposed to worship and be thankful, whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was like people who believed, like I don't know if it was like Christians who were acting a fool on Hallows Eve or if it were like the non-believers or what, but that's how like Halloween mischief, I think, originated.
Yeah, well, and I just think like especially before science and those sort of things, people like existed and based everything off of superstitions and beliefs. And then of course there's some people who took a more darker side, as there is with anything, and then people who used it as more of a celebration for the passing of their dead. But yeah, tell us about some
superstitions. So Sammy said that Halloween kind of originated in Ireland with the Celts. That's where we got jack-o'-lanterns too, because the Irish were carving tulips. Oh my gosh.
Turnips! Not again. I
have it written down as tulips. That's why I said that. It's definitely turnips. They were carving turnips to frighten away, in quotes, Jack, who tricked the devil. So me and Sammy had this conversation last time. We didn't really understand if Jack was like metaphorical
or like a real person.
Yeah, or if he was really going around and just like causing havoc.
Yeah. And I saw something that like they described him as a stingy man. So I was like, was he a real man, or he was like, this is just some like big metaphorical thing, like he's like the boogeyman or something. But so we don't know. So if you came here for answers,
yeah,
you're not getting any.
Maybe a couple little like fun facts, but definitely not. Maybe like fun facts?
One of the like superstitions I have is how Friday the 13th came about. And there's no real essential like origin story for Friday the 13th. It's just different bizarre happenings and occurrences. But the very first thing that I could find was how there was 13 guests at the Last Supper, where Judas ended up betraying Jesus and he was crucified the next day.
That has to be the origin, right?
I think so. Because again, people were so superstitious and so belief based rather than fact based. because that's kind of all they had to go off at the time. So I feel like with how important religion would have been at the time, like 13 would have been a big no after something like that. But so people would not gather in groups of 13. I did see somewhere, but I didn't write it down, that there was this guy who wanted to break the stigma around the 13th. And so he would literally only have dinner parties of 13 people.
That was actually Jack.
Yeah, that actually was a stingy man named Jack.
Yeah.
And that's why we make jack-o'-lanterns. But there was also another thing that happened, like Friday, October 13th, King Philip IV of France arrested hundreds of people from the Knights of Templar, which was a religious / military order, and a bunch were executed. Other traumatic Friday the 13th events: in 1940, there was German bombing of Buckingham Palace. 1964, there was this murder of Kitty Genovese in New York. I guess that's kind of infamous. In 1970, a cyclone killed 300,000 people in Bangladesh. In 1996, on a Friday the 13th, Tupac died. So yeah, just I guess weird big things happen on the 13th. And then of course, the Friday the 13th franchise like marketed off of that and stirred up. I still don't know.
Stigma.
Yeah, I still don't have the right words.
Do you think it's real? Like, do you think it's really stigma, or do you think there's actually something crazy going on with the 13th?
I don't know. I feel like it's just
subconscious.
I don't know. Yeah, because I can be superstitious about some things, but I don't know. It's only if I'm thinking about it being Friday the 13th that I'm like, oh, better not make any big life decisions today, or like
Right.
like you said, I would never get married on a Friday the 13th. I would hope not to have a child on a Friday the 13th either. Do you know anybody who was born on? I don't even know any. Oh my gosh,
What is happening? What's going on?
Is it Friday the 13th?
What is today? It's Thursday.
October 17th. But something's trying to crawl out of us. But yeah, I don't know. But I like if I know it's Friday the 13th, especially if it's in October, like to watch spooky movies and those sort of things. You know what though? Okay, so when I went to go make your boo basket, because just thinking of Friday the 13th, I think of like full moon and like stuff that happens with that too. But when I was at Target making your basket, there were these two ladies there and they were talking, and I was walking past them, but they were starting to talk loud because they were trying to get their things, and then I guess they were meeting up later. But it was a full moon the other night, or maybe it is tonight.
I think it's tonight or tomorrow night.
They were like prepping for it, and they were like, yeah, I'll see you when we lock down for the night or something like that, talking about their Friday, their full moon lockdown. Like, I feel like they think they're werewolves or something.
Sammy, what if you did just encounter real life werewolves?
That's crazy, and I didn't even look them in the eye, you know?
Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
Probably a good thing. But yeah, that was crazy. Do you believe in like the Friday the 13th stuff?
Yeah. Yes, because I feel like if you just believe, I feel like if you just believe in something so hard and a mass amount of people just believe in something so hard, then yes.
Yeah, it's essentially like a group manifestation, but of like
that's
millions
exactly
of people.
What it is. Yeah, I think it's just exactly the same. You just said a group manifestation of literally half the world.
Yeah, that's fair.
So if it wasn't a stigma and it just so happened that there was 13 people at the Last Supper when Judas decided to betray Jesus, then it is for sure now.
Yeah.
What else do I have? Well, talking about like from the Irish to the Romans, because I don't know. Pope
because I don't know.
Pope Gregory the First. He kind of brought forth the term "bless you," because during the plague, he made an announcement for everybody that whenever somebody sneezes, you say God bless you, because that was a big symptom of the plague, and you're basically God bless you. Like, I hope you can go to heaven and find peace, because it's over with for you, buddy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Imagine just like coughing or sneezing and hearing somebody say that, and you're like, fuck.
Oh, damn it.
I almost got away with it.
Yeah.
But
we also talked about how, like, people nowadays say bless you because they think that your heart stops for a second. We don't really know if that's real or not.
yeah, I always thought it was like an old wives' tale, but maybe it's, I don't know. Let's see what Google AI has to say. Actually stop when, oh my god, people be Googling this. No, your heart doesn't stop when you sneeze, but it might briefly change rhythm. But I mean, like, if you like are like that'll change my heart rhythm.
Like,
sorry to breathe on you guys like that. Or like if I held my breath, my heart rhythm's gonna change. But
we also said something. I think Sammy has another pope in her.
I do. And then, but yeah. So black cats, and there's the superstition with black cats that, like, if one passes you by, like a witch's cast a spell on you. Or
passed the car in front of me on the way down the hill today.
Weird. Ooh, they knew we were recording. Oh my god.
You know what else I've been seeing a lot of? Do you believe in numerology?
Like, is that angel numbers?
Yeah.
I don't really know. Like, I feel like if you want to see a number, you're gonna see it everywhere. You know what I mean?
You think so? Like, you're gonna subconsciously look for it?
Yeah. Like, there was the one time, like, I never see 1111, but then there was one time I was with you, and maybe we were recording a podcast, and you were like, it's 1111. The next, like, 4 days, I saw 1111. But I was like, I don't know.
I don't really know what to think about it either, because
sometimes I like the idea of it.
I do too, but, like,
as long as it's positive.
There's never a handbook to things like that. Like, I've heard so many different things where overall over the platform, like 1111 or the repetition of ones means like new beginnings. But then I've heard that angel numbers are from your angels only, so there's gonna be different meanings for everybody. But my whole point was that, like, before I walked in here today, I was walking, just like scanning my environment, and I look to my left and I see 111, just up on a building. But I've been seeing a whole lot of repeating numbers recently, and I just don't know.
Well, you're definitely gonna be in a place of like growth and change soon.
Hopefully.
Well, and like I feel like you're already in it though, right? Because we're doing all this, and we're gonna start sponsorships, so maybe it's like that stuff.
Maybe
and
that's
then
what it is.
and then you're starting a new job, and like
I got a fortune yesterday that said this Friday you'll receive some type of like notice for your accomplishments at work or something.
Nice. With your work though, it could be anything.
It could be this, it could be photography, it could be the bridge, it could be,
it's like so uncertain, because I would consider like school, like when you're in college, school is like your work, you know what I mean? I mean, even though you have 18 other jobs, but like school's like the main work. I
skipped both my classes today. Let's get back on track. So what were you saying about black cats?
Oh yeah, like if they passed you by, it was believed like that a witch cast a spell on you, or back in the plague ages, if a black cat sat on you, like you were about to get KO'd by the plague, essentially. But so in the 13th century, there was an official church document signed. It's called Vox in Rama by Pope Gregory the Ninth, and he declared black cats were the incarnation of Satan, which is kind of crazy.
It's actually really crazy.
Like an official like a declaration of independence, but declaring that cats are Satan. But like we were talking about this too, like Pope Gregory the Ninth just like didn't get along with cats, you know what I mean? Like he had bad energy, and cats can read that, and so cats didn't like him, and so he's like, F these guys, you're Satan, when it's really like you probably have an issue.
Yeah, we brought up I saw this thing on TikTok the other day where this woman was like, men who can't stand cats and like absolutely hate them have an issue with boundaries because cats force you to have boundaries and respect their boundaries.
Yep.
So Hope Gregory the Ninth was just, he definitely did not do nice things to women.
Yeah, right. Like, he did not know what boundaries were. You know what? If you don't like cats, like, it's probably you that's the problem. But there's nothing I love more than men who love cats. Like, men who have cats before they have a girlfriend who have cats. Your aura
Times 10.
Yeah. But yeah.
Bro, who else?
I used to go ahead.
The Victoria's Secret fashion show was yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you watch it at all?
No, I don't know where you watch it.
I think it's on YouTube.
Okay. I've never watched it before.
Prime.
I just see like clips on my social media.
Ronan said that Bella Hadid, her aura is like a million. Just like
was she
walking.
in it?
I don't know if she was in it, but
because obviously she's like one of the biggest models, but now she dates like a bull rider, and she's just like a cowgirl now. Like, she like does like horse matches and stuff. Okay, that's not the right word for it, but she like competes and stuff. Like, it's like the one where you like, there's like different things, but like it's like the one where you use the horse to get like the cows in a certain area. You like herd them, yeah. But yeah, so she's just like living life now.
That's actually pretty funny.
It's actually so cool.
Did you see that Liam Payne died?
Yeah.
TMZ posted a picture of his dead body. I heard that. Yeah, that I would sue so quick. My whole family needs a check for that.
Yeah, that's crazy. R.I.P.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a One Direction concert in 2013.
What was it like?
It was so much fun, and it's when 5 Seconds of Summer was opening for
them.
Yeah, it was like an iconic time period to have gone to one. But I was a fangirl for sure. Me and my best friend had like a fan page on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were in love. We used to like recreate their videos too. It was crazy. Big fangirls. I
never really like had crushes that I can remember on like pop stars.
Yeah, that was like the first time, I think. The only other crush I remember being like obsessed with was Zac Efron in High School Musical.
I did have an entire Justin Bieber themed birthday party, so maybe I had a little crush.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was never like big into Justin Bieber, but you know who's so interesting that I like just like loves Justin Bieber is Chase.
No way.
Yeah, he's always loved Justin Bieber, which I think is so funny. But
Chase
like,
Harler.
Yeah, but he just like he's just never cared. But like from the rip, he's just always loved Justin Bieber.
That's so funny. My brother Trace had a Justin Bieber haircut growing up.
That's funny.
Thought he was him.
Brian couldn't have had a Justin Bieber haircut if he wanted one.
Brian's hair was Brian was a white boy, 6 foot in 8th grade with an afro.
Yeah, serious afro.
He wasn't 6 foot, but he was definitely like 5'11".
Yeah.
That boy was tall AF in 8th grade with a literal helmet of an afro. It was hilarious to see.
Oh my god. Yeah, he couldn't have had Justin Bieber hair.
And he had braces too. It was so funny. Sammy looked at that boy when she got to Central, was like, this one. This is the one.
You know what's so funny too is like I was like so like I flirted and whatever. Like I was definitely a big flirt in high school, but I wasn't interested in like being with anybody long term because I was like, I have goals. And I was like, I'm going to school, I'm going to North Carolina, I'm going to be doing this,
you knew
this.
In high school that you were going to go to North Carolina?
Yeah, it's just like where I grew up, so I was like, I'm going to go back. Yeah, then I met that kid. And he threw it all for a loop.
Oh.
That kid with an afro. I don't think he had braces when I met him. But.
No, I think those were gone by 8th grade.
Yeah, he might not have had the afro. Well,
it was a little. It was like
it just wasn't as intense as
no,
it once was.
If it wasn't extra large in 8th grade, it was probably like a medium freshman sophomore year.
Yeah, like a medium and a half.
Yeah. They definitely had to size up his helmet for his hair, though.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh yeah, and then we were talking about the popes. Like, do popes just run in the family? Like, how is there 9 Gregories?
Yeah.
Or do they choose to change their name when they become a pope?
Like how you can change it for
Confirmation?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good question because there's no way that they keep popes in the family. They can't be. I wonder
Yeah,
how you
that
get
seems
elected
suspicious.
as a pope.
I don't know. Are you always like a
pope?
bishop before or something?
Do the popes pick other popes? Or do you have to you voted? Is like a voting system or like
Who all gets a vote?
Or
Who's the pope now?
Francis.
Which number?
I don't know.
If you guess Francis or Gregory, you're probably gonna get it right.
Oh, or like John. I think like there's a Pope John Paul.
Yeah, John Paul's a big one.
Yeah.
They definitely choose their name.
Oh, they have to. Because the 9th Pope Gregory, there's no way.
What's another superstition you have?
Covering your mouth when you yawn. Seems pretty like obvious. You cover your mouth. But like for me, it's like habit, right? Just kind of like I do it just so like if I'm in a room with like a cute boy, he doesn't see me in my double chin, you know?
Yeah. Or like sees like my uvula.
Yeah, exactly. Wait. Wait. Okay. I've never thought about that. Them seeing my uvula. But during the plague, this could have been a Pope Gregory the First thing too. Like he could have came up with this too. First of all, they did it to stop the spread of germs because it was during the plague. However, it was also to prevent the devil from coming in through your mouth and taking your soul out of your body. And then they also thought if the devil wasn't coming in, then your soul was just going to leave anyways. Yeah. So they were big cover your mouth when you yawn back in the day.
Because your hand's going to keep the devil out.
And stop your soul from leaving.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
I have that Harry Houdini died on Halloween. Like the most famous magician ever was.
Do you think Tupac's still alive? You know his daughter has dissociative identity disorder?
I did not know that.
Pretty sure. I hope that's not misinformation.
We spread rumors
wow.
here.
We
lie.
Wow, so bad. I can't believe this. Like, we need to start fact checking some things.
Yeah.
I have a superstition about New Year's Kiss. It came from ancient Europe. They believed it was a fresh start, and it kind of cleansed you and warded off negativity. Because this went back to this was the same time when they thought like Halloween was the New Year, because it was dark, and then spring was coming along. The sun was setting at a later time. You know what I mean? Things were starting to get back a little bit warmer. So they believed that when they would kiss each other, it was as like a protection type of thing, because with the darkness and the coldness of outside, it was evil spirits. So they would kiss each other for protection.
And then we were saying that it was definitely made up by some guy who could not think of any other way to get his crush to kiss him. So he just started a rumor like, hey, you have to kiss on New Year's, otherwise it will not be your year.
Yeah. Have you seen the New Year's thing where people get under tables and eat grapes?
Yeah. I want to say it's, oh gosh, sorry Zoe if it's not your family, but I think it's Zoe's family. They do a lot of New Year's traditions. Like they'll eat the sauerkraut, they'll do the grape under the table, but I don't know like the basis for any of them. I just remember I didn't know of any of those things until I moved to Wheeling, and I think it's because of Zoe and her family.
I would love to know what the sauerkraut is about, because we do that too.
Yeah.
And my mom is steady on that.
Yeah, your mom does it too, because she'll like make a meal that involves sauerkraut. That way you're not just like eating it right out the jar. Yeah. But like it's other people, they'll just make sure they have it in the fridge, and everybody will just get
take a bite. That's so gross.
Yeah.
It's pork and sauerkraut every New Year's.
Yeah. I actually like sauerkraut though.
I don't.
It's kind of it's vinegary, right?
Yeah, I like the seasoning of it. Like I like I love like my pork in the crock pot with some sauerkraut, but when I take it out, I'm scraping all of the sauerkraut off of it.
No, I like sauerkraut. And sauerkraut's like really good for your bowel, I think.
Hot
like your
take,
tummy.
I low-key like crock-pot meals. Used to hate them as a little kid.
Yeah, I like crock-pot meals.
Definitely used to hate them as a little kid because that was just, they would blow me so bad. I would come home after like just got done with high school. I effing hate myself and everybody around me, you know what I mean? I just had a really hard basketball practice. I come home, I'm failing fucking algebra and biology, and I come home and my mom's not even home and there's shit in the crock pot because she's still at work. I'm like, oh my fucking god!
Not again. No, I love crock-pot meals. I've never really had them though until being in your household, but your mom does like a really good job with them.
Yeah, she does. Shout out Stace.
I get home from high school and I have to be like, shit, there's nothing here, nobody's home, what the fuck can I make? I don't know how to use any of this stuff, so I just eat butter noodles.
Oh my god.
Brian and I were talking about this the other day, and it's just like crazy, like he's like, how did you get to where you are today?
Yeah.
Because he's like, how did you grow if you just ate bagels and noodles? And I'm like, I literally ate bagels from noodles from like 2012 to like when I went to 2020 when I went to PA school. Like, that's crazy. I remember I was told I was gonna be 5'7", like that was my guesstimate height, and you know what, I bet if I had vegetables and nutrients I would have been 5'7".
How tall are you?
5'2"3/4.
Oh, she missed the growth part. You know, when women don't stop growing until they're what, like 25?
I don't know, I thought guys stopped growing later.
No, I think guys are done when they're like 8. Actually, I have no idea.
I think Brian did get taller in college.
Really?
I think so. But either way, I'm still past that in my old age.
My last superstition that I have for you guys is birthday candles. They come from Greece and Germany. The first one, the Greek were baking these cakes for their birthdays in the shape of either like a crescent. I'm pretty sure it was a crescent moon or just like a full moon. And when they would blow out these candles, they were making wishes to their goddess Artemis, who was, we looked it up, Sam, she was like the goddess of fertility and I think women or something like that, maybe childbirth.
Yeah, and then there was some like random ones. A lot of it was like what you just said.
Harvest, right?
Yeah.
Fertility, something like that.
And then something else random that I was like, I don't know how this makes sense with other stuff, but yeah.
The Germans, however, were baking these cakes and then they would light their candles of however much you were turning +1. So if I woke up today and I turned 20 years old, I would have 21 candles on my cake, and they would leave them lit all day to represent the light of life.
I kind of want to do that for birthdays now.
Yeah, doesn't that seem so cool? I don't think they would ever blow them out, though. Like, I don't think the Germans were getting wishes. I think they would just... it was supposed to be like, oh, your wish is more life, you know?
Yeah, which I think is a wish enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like after what you said about candles, like, you're not supposed to blow them out.
Mm-hmm. So...
I don't think I want to blow out birthday candles anymore.
What happened was, I told Sammy about... this boy told me that he's Haitian. His grandparents are Haitian and his mom is Haitian by default. They don't blow out their candles because it's like you're extinguishing the life, because fire is a source of energy, and if you blow it out, then you're killing life. What they do is they suffocate it instead. So they're not using their own breath to end it. They're using, like, you'd put the lid back on a candle, or like if you guys have ever been to mass or church, they use like the little things to cover it to put it out. I asked him about his birthday candles. I was like, hey, growing up, did you ever like blow out your birthday candles? He was like, yes, but technically you're right, like we're not necessarily supposed to, but he said he did.
Okay,
so it's not like the end of everything, but
I kind of want to have a moon birthday cake every year where just all the candles are on there and they stay lit the whole time.
Yeah, so mixing Greek and Germany.
Yeah.
What else did I say about his Haitian beliefs?
Mirrors? Or I don't know if that's...
Oh, with candles. They would manifest with candles. So what would happen is, like, they would speak. They believe that it's just like an extra source. You can manifest just like by speaking out loud, but when you speak it into a candle, it's kind of like locking it in and even boosting it even more. So whenever you have a candle lit, just don't ever say anything crazy around it.
Yeah, that's so scary.
It's fine, like, as long as you're not like, oh, death to all blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think you're okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've said anything crazy, but sometimes I have candles lit all day long, you know.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, so like I hope I didn't say anything crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of,
I won't anymore.
It goes with its intentions too. From what I've like gathered with everything that he's told me is as long as you're speaking with intention, that's really all that matters.
Yeah,
but the power of the tongue is very powerful either way. So, but mirrors, we brought up last episode that didn't even freaking record.
18.0 OG 18 RIP.
Yeah. You're not supposed to kind of address yourself in the mirror. So like, especially going to business school, they say a really good tactic before you go into interviews is to like practice an interview in the mirror, you know?
And that's what I was telling Gia. I was like, I have spoken to myself in the mirror, not being on like some, well, and you know what, now that I think about it, like when I was little, like I was that girl who's like singing songs like in the mirror and like pretending like I'm famous and like doing an interview. So like I know I was doing that shit when I was young, like, oh yeah, I'm, you know, I'm Hannah Montana, but like, and doing stupid stuff like that. But like as an adult, I definitely have, but like to prep for like not so much job interviews anymore because I know how to interview now, but like when I was first doing PA school interviews, before I went to West Lib's interview, I definitely practiced that shit in the mirror.
And I don't really know, like, I probably could have asked him a little bit more detail about this, but essentially it's like the whole point of why you're not supposed to talk to yourself in the mirror, because it's your reflection, and it's the same thing as like it's your shadow, right? So it looks just like you, but it's everything that isn't, I guess. It's like the exact flipped, right? Because that's exactly what a mirror is.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
That's the belief, and it's like if you sit there and give it the power to
communicate,
it's not supposed to be good.
Yeah, that shit freaks me
Isn't it?
out. That freaks me out big time.
We also talked about how you're not supposed to have two mirrors facing each other, and my mom taught me that one, but so, and you're never supposed to have one facing you while you sleep because it's the same belief. You know what I mean? Whatever the fuck is in that mirror is not good.
You know, your bedroom
faces, that mirror faces you.
Yeah. I'm taking that shit down tonight. That's gotta go somewhere. Where would you put it though?
The only reason I felt okay sleeping like that is because when you would look up, you can't really like see yourself in it unless you sit up, you know?
Where would you put it though? It would have to go on the same wall.
Do you still have two beds stacked?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see yourself in it.
Shut up.
Yeah, it would put it by the foot of your bed, facing the closet.
Facing.
You know?
Yeah.
You just have to move a few things.
That's okay. I'll move them. Because that's how I was telling Gia last time too. Like, I do not like I like to go to silly haunted houses. I like to watch silly scary movies. Like, I mean, not silly. Like sometimes they're scary movies. But like, if something hits a little too close to home or something is like, it just feels like you shouldn't be doing it. Like, I'm not doing any serious spooky things. Like, as a kid, I'm not doing Bloody Mary. That seems so effing stupid to be doing. Like, I'm not playing with Ouija boards. I'm not inviting anything in, like, that stuff. So, like, mirror stuff, that'll freak me out, too. Like, I'm not doing stuff that's really gonna invite something in. Like,
there was one time as a little kid that Ronan was over at the house, and we were just, like, watching videos. We were just being little kids, right? We were watching videos on YouTube, just, like, do-do-do-do, and then she found this video of, like, hypnotism turned you into a werewolf. Right? And it was like this spiral, literally like the most comical thing ever. It was like this spiral with some freaky ass music in the background. I'm hyperventilating. Like, that might have been my first ever panic attack, you know?
Oh.
I'm hyperventilating Rona with her fuck-ass bob. She's sitting there. She's like, come on, Gia. What? Come on. And then she starts fake tweaking out, you know?
Oh, my God.
And I just was so scared. Like, I ran out.
Ronan's different.
Yeah, she is so weird. Her fuck-ass bob. I can't wait. I can't wait to text her after this recording and be like, bro, you remember when you look like Dora, literally, with your little Mexican
I don't think I've
self?
ever seen a picture of that before.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, those hypnotism videos, they were like kind of big, because I remember that, like, when we would have been young, like, YouTube had so many of those things. But like, I'm not crossing those lines. I'm not doing any of that. But yeah, so I will be moving that mirror tonight.
The other thing, or you could put a blanket over it. The other thing that this boy says is, like, I went to go pick something up one time, and he grabbed me. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, what are you talking about? Like, this is like a cool little thing on the ground. I'm about to pick it up. It's like rock. I'm gonna put it in my pocket, you know? Because I'm carrying around rocks in my pockets almost 24/7, right? Like, if I found something cool on the ground, yank. He was like, bro, you don't know what the intention of somebody who put that there was. I was like, oh, I guess you're right, because, you know, if you sit there and, like, I don't know, you never know. It could be something physical, or it could be something, like, intentional, where
like, they set an intention with it and left it.
Say you put all of your bad energy into this one little thing and was like, okay, I'm putting this here to leave it.
So how does he feel about, like, thrifting?
It's a really good question, because I think he has thrifted before. When I thrift things, I usually cleanse them before, like, I do anything. Not necessarily clothes, but, like, items.
How do you cleanse them?
I use incense. I use the smoke from incense or sage, because smoke alone is just meant to be a cleansing property. Or running water, like natural running water, is a cleansing property.
So you just light an incense in the home and then just until it burns out?
Mm-hmm. So I light it, and then I don't blow it out with my breath. I just, like, go like this. Like, I swing it back and forth until it's done. And then incense just naturally let off all the smoke to make the room smell good. But that's how, like, when I deep clean on Sundays.
Hello.
Oh, Coach. Coach, you want a nerd?
I want a what?
A nerd?
No, thank you.
Anyways, Sammy, if you've ever seen me cleaning at the house, which is, like, I don't know, rare.
When you take your Adderall?
Yeah, when I take my Adderall and I clean, I usually will have incense burning. Just because, like, you can clean the physical room, but I also want to clean out the energy of the room.
Mm-hmm.
So, but whenever you burn an incense, you're supposed to have somewhere for it to go.
Yeah, windows open.
Exactly. And then another thing we mentioned in the last episode was, this goes with cleaning your space. Whenever you sweep, the door just got shut. Whenever you sweep the dirt outside of the door. So, you can I guess, like, sweep it into a dustpan, but you want to take it outside to throw it away.
Yeah, I might just, like, I might just dust stuff into the garbage can outside.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise I feel like you just, especially with all the animal hair in our house, you would just end up with, like, hay, like the things in the cowboy that's whoo, and it, like, it goes across the screen.
Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah. I feel like the only other cool thing I have is if a child is born on Halloween, it's believed that they can talk with spirits.
I think that's pretty cool.
I think that's really cool. But I don't know anybody Halloween.
Do you think psychics are real?
I feel like there's got to be some who are real and some who certainly are just profiting.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the majority got to be just profiting.
Yeah, like my mom was really into that for a time period, and so she wanted me to go with her one time, and I went, and it was just, like, stupid. Like,
really?
It was stuff I could have just said. Like, it's not even memorable. Like, there was nothing, the only, like, random thing she said was, like, that if you stay with the person you are with now, who is always and has always been Brian, that we would have 2 boys. That was, like, the only thing. But like, I want a girl. What the F?
I can see you being a boy mom.
Yeah, like I'm fine. I just want healthy babies, but like I want a girl that like is like my mini me and we can like do and stuff, you know. But maybe I'll have a boy who wants to do. I would love like 2 boys and then 1 girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then so her big brothers could beat people up.
Facts. Only one of my big brothers beat people up though.
Trace.
Yeah. He's about it though. So.
Brian kills them with kindness.
Exactly. Brian will walk up to him and be like, "Hey man, this isn't you." Like you
He'll make you feel disappointment.
He's like, no, literally. He's like, "Hey, you got somebody I can call? Like, let's get you home safe. You know what? We can go through McDonald's on the way home too." Like,
Oh, what I was gonna say though, with like all of that, like talking about like the incense and energy and stuff, is like manifestation though. I feel like that is something I definitely believe in, and like the energy you put in stuff, because right when Gia and I start, like, we didn't even start this, we just made our PowerPoint presentation and I got really excited about it, and so like I like made like a mood board and like whatever. That mood board, nearly everything on it has happened other than one thing, which was like running a half marathon. But like I just don't think I'm there. But like I put something about like aesthetics and dermatology. What am I starting right now? I obviously put the podcast stuff. We've stayed consistent. There's like some other random things, but it's like literally everything on it is nearly like played through.
Yeah.
Now maybe putting the podcast on there was like kind of cheating because we were already in the process of starting it, but like we stayed consistent. But I just thought that was cool.
I 100% believe in manifestation. And I believe in manifesting when the moon is full too, with the power of the moon. I speak to the moon. I call her Luna. I speak to the sun in the morning. I call him Sol.
Like you just like wake up and you're like,
"Good morning, Sol. Thank you for your warmth.
Let's have a good day."
Yeah, let's have a great day. When I'm brushing my teeth, it's perfect because right around the time I get up for just every day, the sun is shining right through the bathroom windows up at school, so I get to feel the warmth while I'm brushing my teeth. I say a little good morning. I maybe set some intentions.
That's cool.
Yeah. And at
like
night,
general intentions, or like I want this paper done?
all of the above. Like I could set some goals for the day, or I could be like, give me some type of strength, you know what I mean, whatever I'm feeling for the day, whatever I feel like I need, give me peace of mind today, whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I believe in it a whole lot. I talk to the moon more than I think I talk to the sun, just cause
talking to the moon.
I was gonna let you carry that
out. No, I like that. I'm gonna talk to the moon tonight if she's full.
I think she is full.
No, I think that makes sense because I don't think it was that night. They were like planning a meetup and locking it down, but I don't really know why you'd lock it down unless you think you're a werewolf.
I had to like figure out what you were talking about.
Oh,
for
sorry,
a second. I was
sorry.
like, oh yeah, them fucking wolves at Target.
I completely gave no context. I just assumed you would remember. So this week's Woman of the Week is Marie Laveau. She is known as the Voodoo Queen of New Orleans.
That was very nice. That was very, very, like, whatever. But Madame Laveau, right? That's her last name, Laveau?
Yeah.
Madame Laveau just sounds like you can do witchcraft.
Yeah. I love when people are, like, born with a name that makes sense for what they end up doing. Mm-hmm. But do you think...
Like LaBelle Books?
Yeah.
LaBelle's Bowls?
LaBelle's Bowls coming 2025. Sneak peek.
Soon, Loki. That's next year.
Sneak peek. Brian started talking with the owners of the Y, and it's gonna be like attached.
Shut up.
Yeah, it's like actually in the works.
Shut up.
Yeah, for real. This literally happened this week.
This is you telling me?
I guess so. It just happened to come up.
Wait.
Brian had a meeting with the owner of the Y.
They're huge.
Yeah, right. I gotta look if on that mood board if I put something with smoothie bowls, because if I did, I'm actually gonna poop my pants.
Yeah.
But Brian is somebody who's so cool to be with, because he's like actually that person who's like, if you have a dream, we can make it come true. Like he's actually Walt Disney.
Brian is literally the best motivational coach I've ever like had in my entire life.
Yeah. Okay, enough about him. But but yeah, so he talked to the person at the Y, and so we're gonna have monthly meetings start like my whole process in it is like literally, oh, that's nice. Is literally just to be a creative, and like Brian's the business guy.
I would love to be a creative output for you too.
Oh yeah.
So let me know.
Yeah. Yeah, but this just happened like 2 days ago.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh. I wonder where on the side are they going to put it?
I didn't finish my sentence, I guess. When you look at the Y, there's like the main part, and then there's like
part?
there used to be a chiropractor there on the left side, I think it is.
Yeah.
And it still has his name and stuff, but he's not there anymore, so that's where it would go. So you can access it from inside the Y, and you could access it from outside. So like people who aren't working out, like they could still just walk right in.
Yeah, that's so smart, because that's going to bring so much business to the Y, because Sammy, that's literally so perfect. The only thing is like they need to get the Y redone ASAP for you guys to flourish.
Yeah, I think that's when the Y is going to be done. I think the goal time is to open it with the opening.
Grand opening? Okay.
Yes. So that way it's like 2 grand openings.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you thought you were just getting a gym?
Psych. Brand new
smoothie bowl place. But we'll probably do like juices and stuff
perfect.
too. Yeah, it would be so cool.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right? Okay, but Marie Laveau, she was supposedly alive from 1801 to 1881, but there's some things that are unclear from that. I'm not exactly sure why. But her main powers were healing the sick, extending altruistic gifts to the poor, and overseeing spiritual rites. Essentially, her daytime job was a hairdresser, so through clients, through gossip, I think any girls, you know how it is going to the hair salon, you just kind of yap for an hour or two, but she ended up getting her name out that way, and so the wealthy white rich people would reach out to her for advice, intervention, and protection against evil energy. She practiced in her home, like doing one-on-ones. She practiced in the Congo Square, and then she practiced in this lake in New Orleans. The Congo Square was actually a place where like the government allowed for both enslaved and free African people to gather. So on every Sunday, she would hold a big worship for them, and they would worship, dance, gather, essentially to worship for rejuvenation due to the severe oppression they were facing at the time. So it was just a good place of peace and manifestation for them. But then the other place that she would go to was that lake, and that's where she would meet with like her king or his second, and hold a ceremony where they would sing, dance, there was drumming, sometimes spirit possession would happen at these spiritual rites. But those have gotten like stereotyped, I guess, and exaggerated in like movies. So you probably like have a slight idea of what they would have looked like, but obviously not to that extent. But she was buried in the St. Louis Cemetery, and her grave site is like highly visited. They put something like it's visited more often than Elvis Presley's grave. But people go there, light candles, worship, pray, and just still kind of
I would love to go to New Orleans.
Me too. Yeah, I would definitely love to go.
Schedule a trip.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun.
Pine Cellar New Orleans edition?
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to go. It's definitely like a bucket list place. One of my cousins, she used to go there all the time for Mardi Gras, and she loved it. But this was years ago. And that's all we got for you guys.
Thanks for tuning in to episode 18.5. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.